Hello everybody, back here again for our vlog a day, and today is Saturday the 10th, and today was a lovely, beautiful day to be alive. Got up this morning, fairly decent time frame, got the puppies out, kind of dealing with them, getting them fed and all that good fun stuff that comes with it. Went ahead and jumped in the hot tub and basically was out there getting my little soak on, and I only left one dog out at a time because the young pit bull is a little bit too rambunctious for the old Rottweiler, and she gets annoyed with him, and after a while she'll get a little bit aggressive in her play, and he's too dumb to realize that she's like had enough and she's actually being mean, and he doesn't know to stop, so it can get out of hand. So you don't have to deal with that. It's pretty easy to separate them and break it up, but I want to take the chance of being in the hot tub and having that happen and not be able to get to them to break them up. So definitely it's easier just to keep them separated and run that route that way. So went ahead, got out of the tub, got a couple of things done. I was gonna head over to, there was a, I don't know, thing on Facebook posted up. They were doing a plant swap, or basically everybody's gonna meet at a little park over here on the Intercoastal and bring some plants and stuff to trade out stuff, what you might want, what other people might want, so on and so forth, and go from there. So went ahead and I kind of planned it. I had no plants I wanted to trade, so they said, hey, bring potting soil. Everybody's always willing to trade potting soil for stuff, but I didn't feel like going and buying a bunch of potting soil. Just drag over there and found nothing I wanted, and or depending on the cost of a bag of potting soil, might not want to pay that for the plant there, the little starter there trading out. How are you doing today? So instead, I packed up a bunch of my 3D printed plant related stuff, where it'd be little planters of Star Wars figures, or where it'd be little weird succulent pots that look like moons, and little vases and little vases and all kinds of little interesting stuff, and little orchid bowl, like little pots and stuff. So basically anything that was like plant related, I packed up a bunch of those, and I even thought about burning like some little plant tags with a laser, but wasn't sure if people actually want those or not, so who knows. So instead, said heck with it, packed it all up into a box, and then wife said she wanted to go with me, which was great. So we headed over there. It was supposed to go from like, I don't know, 10 to 11. It wasn't a very long event, so we were up in there a little bit after 10 and have no idea where we was at. Like, there's like a little pavilion with a couple people in it, and like a homeless dude type thing and stuff and whatnot, and like one other person. I was like, okay, there's no signs, there's no nothing here, not really sure that. So we drove around a little bit, saw a dude on a electric surfboard that was kind of cool, electric hydrofoil, I guess, whatever you want to call it. He was out there playing around in it, so we kind of watched that for a couple moments and then chilled out there and headed back over and realized, I'm like, that might be what's going on. It was just one lady had one little tiny box, and she was kicking some seeds out of like the flowers and stuff, breaking them apart, and then another lady showed up there and she brought a box of little plants she just ripped out of the ground that morning as she was heading there and threw it in a box. And then another lady was there with her dog, and I don't think she had any plants, but she was there for the plant swap thing, which was okay. But her dog, she was like letting the dog on the picnic table and stuff, all kind of things, and the dog's like knocking the lady's purse and knocked over her glass and like her Yeti cup looking thing and whatnot. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Like, your dog's being a menace right now, kind of thing. So we chatted for a few minutes. There was nothing there. Even if I had any to trade, I didn't want to. So I didn't bring my stuff up to show them what I had. I didn't, I guess. So I thought, well, we'll come back. We'll go out for a little bit. Come back in like a half an hour when hopefully it's got more people here, and go from there. And said to hell with it, and went ahead. So we headed out. We were driving around a little bit, kind of maybe looking for yard sales. I think is kind of what I was doing, just killing time in that process. And the time we saw a sign that's something about art show or art gallery show or something and stuff. So went ahead and saw the signs. We head that way, followed the signs, and it said it was like number, I don't know, like 15 or something of the things. So I was like, I don't know if that was like saying it's 15th spot or what it was. So we follow it back into like an industrial park area, back into nowhere, and pull into like they got little warehouse areas with offices on one side and warehouse on the other. And drove through there, and I wasn't really sure. So there was like one building, no signage, no nothing on it, and a door open. I thought, well, that's probably it. So we drove back by it and walked in. And it was a little art gallery, art studio, I guess, back to our term. 4 women, I guess, share the rent on the location, and they kind of all rent there. So we walked around. They had some paintings and stuff, had a couple little things and whatnot. Nothing there we couldn't live without. Ran to one of my clients. As I came around the corner and stuff, they were talking about didn't have want to know if the artist had change for 100 and whatnot. And everyone's like, I don't know if I do or not, because I guess apparently everybody pays with a credit card nowadays. So I said, well, if you want, I can break 100. I always carry 20s and stuff with me, so I can happily break 100 if anybody needs it, kind of thing. And then I realized it was one of my clients that was there, and she goes, no, it's fine. She goes, okay, blah, blah. So she headed back out to her car to get her money, because she, I guess, apparently keeps a $100 bill in her ashtray or something. And ironically, when she got back, and then she goes, oh, I don't have the money to come back and get this and stuff. Just took it behind, so kind of thing, whatnot. And it was like $35 or something, whatever it was. And she goes, I gave him my $100 bill. So I guess last time she came and picked her dog up, she didn't have enough cash on her, so she stole the $100 bill out of the ashtray. So, and I'm like, not a problem. She forgot to refill it. So I'm like, do you want me to just buy the painting for you, and then like just text me and add it to the next time you drop your dog off? Just give me the money then. And she's like, oh no, and stuff. And the artist was like, yeah, I want the money. And I'm like, she goes, no, I'll just come back and get it. I'm like, okay, whatever works for you. So I would have happily done that kind of thing. It would have bothered me a bit. So, and we were laughing and stuff. Looked around a few other things, talked to ours there, and then they gave us a little card that told us there was a bunch of other places all the way from Ormond Beach all the way down to Edgewater, and a whole bunch of different locations. So we hit every other location here in Edgewater, and it was realized we went past the time the plant swap thing was over. So by the time we hit all the shows, we ended up hitting a couple spots that ran into a couple guys that were there also shopping, talking to them. Got to the next spot, they were also kind of just following the same routine, the same route we were, and we got chatting a little bit. They were talking about he's remodeling a house. He bought a house on a little road called Rangard Road, and Regis Road, how do you pronounce it? And he was talking about needing a drywall guy. He was like, hang drywall, I can't mud it and tape it. So I got a guy. So I gave him one of my cards, and I said, hey, just hit me up. You need this information and my concrete guy both. I'll happily pass their information on to you. And they seem pretty excited about that part. So end up over at another guy's place that does, I bought some plants from him a while back. He had a little plant sale going on where he was, I don't know, propagating plants. But he also does some ceramics. He does a lot of woodworking and whatnot. So we talked to him, nice guy. We chatted a little bit there and then headed out. And I bought a plant from him a while back. And he remembered what plant it was. We were talking. And how are you doing? And I couldn't remember the name of it, so it took me a minute. Once I realized, oh yeah, I remember that. How's it doing? He asked about the plant and blah blah. Told me how to propagate it to basically start some new stuff off it to kind of help it expand out, so I can then share the plants with others, kind of thing. So that's kind of cool. From there, we headed back home. He's on our street. He lives on the same street we do, but he has some cool painting and stuff too, which is kind of interesting to see. But got back to the house, got the dogs out, played with them again, let them wrestle and play a bit, and then under supervision, of course. And then it was like about half an hour when the dog was supposed to get dropped off today, which is why I didn't go on up towards Ormond looking at more art stuff. It was because of that. So I waited around for a while. I think she texted me half an hour before she was supposed to be there, and she goes, "Oh, I'm not going to go today, so I'm not bringing the dog over." I'm like, well, shit, that'd been nice to know less than a half an hour before I was supposed to be here, because kind of took up my whole day, because I could have been up there or whatever stuff. And then she's like, well, I didn't know I woke up, I wasn't feeling very good, my throat was sore, and I was hoping I'd get feeling better and I could go. Really hoping I could get feeling better and go. I said, well, that's fine. But had you told me that this morning at like 8 a.m., said, hey, my throat's really sore, I'm feeling kind of sickly, I might not make today's trip for the one overnight, which again, it's not that big deal, it's just one overnight, but it cuts up middle of my day, noon at both days, so no big deal. And I'm like, I could have been like, hey, just give me like an hour notice. I could have went to Ormond with the art stuff, been up there, and then if she did decide to go, there are one or two things. One, I go pick her dog up at the house when I get back in town, or as long as I have a heads up, I could get back from Ormond, grab the dog and take it home, or have her meet at the house, kind of thing. So would have been fine, but it's kind of is what it is. So she's done this to me a handful of times in the past. She waits till last minute, cancel stuff, and I've never enforced the last minute cancellation on her before, and she volunteered to pay me for this day, which, don't get me wrong, I'll take the $30, but the point that this is, I had a day that I could have went and did other stuff with that I wasn't able to do because of it. So often in this line of work, a ability to do stuff is worth more than the $30 for that one single day is. So, but it is what it is. So got back, realized that wasn't going to happen. So hung around a little bit, decided to go ahead and get my run in early. So I went and got my run in. On my run, I was almost back to the house, had a buddy of mine reach out, said he was in town for some work stuff and had a couple hours to kill, and wanted to know if he could stop by and hang out before I had to go pick up his kid. And I'm like, absolutely, man. I said, I'm, about 10 minutes out from the house, probably in that rough area. So head over, because I know he wasn't gonna be on my street already. So head over and just let me know when you're on my street, then I'll meet you and stuff, whatever. And he goes, well, I got to do a couple of things. I'll probably be about a half an hour. I said, not a problem. So I went ahead and got home, let my wife know she wanted to go to the store. And I said, it's kind of like, just stick around until he gets here at least. So went ahead, jumped in the shower real fast, and then he texted me on the street on the way down my house. So I said, hey, go let him in. They were chatting a few minutes. I came out. It was literally probably 5 minutes. I was already out of the shower, getting dressed when he got there. So we chatted a little bit. They headed off the store. We headed out back, got him a cigar and some drinks, and went ahead and basically told him, I said, you know what do you want? I said, we got root beer, we got other stuff. We don't have root beer, ironically enough. We almost always do, and today we didn't. So that's the thing he asked for, and I'm like, shit, I don't have root beer. So ended up with a, I don't know, ginger ale or something I ended up drinking. And then he had a Sprite. So we was out there, smoked a cigar, shot the shit for a while, and then he had to go pick his kid up. So he headed out. Wife had gotten back with the groceries, got everything unpacked, got that all taken care of, and worked out real well. So from there, just kind of hanging around for the day. Wife decided she wanted to have pizza, which tomorrow is going to be insane with the big game going on tomorrow. All the pizza places are going to be 2 hour out, I'm sure. So went ahead and ordered a pizza for tonight. I went and picked it up. We got it from right here locally to us. So it's a couple miles away. So the one I like the best is on Beachside. But man, on a beautiful hot day like today in the winter, Beachside's going to be slammed. It was not worth the juice for the squeeze on that one to go over and get it. So sometimes you can get away with that place with the parking's horrendous. If you take 2 people with you, one of you drive by, drop the one out, and then they go and get the pizza, pull back around, pick them up, get in the car, and drive away, and then you're just making a loop. That actually works fairly well. I've done that a couple times, but we didn't do that today, so it wasn't worth the hassle of driving over there and fighting the traffic. So went ahead and ordered from a local place, had a nice pizza, watched another episode of Wentworth, and then headed out, played with the puppies. And as long as I'm out there with them, they're pretty good most of the time. I can kind of keep them under control and keep him from annoying her so damn much. So hung out, enjoyed another cigar. Just beautiful, absolutely stunningly beautiful weather. It's so nice in here. It's gonna be 80 plus tomorrow. It was just gorgeous tonight. It was, I think, high 70s, maybe 81 or something today. So absolutely just insanely beautiful weather. So yeah, that was pretty much what we had there. And then headed back in. It was kind of late-ish. Wife decided she wanted to go ahead and watch something with me, so we watched another episode of Atypical, or Love on the Spectrum. Watched instead. It's a good show. It's about people with like Down syndrome and Alzheimer's and Asperger's and stuff, dating. It's really interesting. It's just pretty good. So but yeah, watched an episode of that and then wrapped it up and called it a night. So that's all I got for right now. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Have yourself a safe, wonderful day. Thanks for watching.